my name is Faisal Khan, and today I am going to be showing you the funds flow for a crowdfunding that is originating in the United States. So, this is the zoomed out view of what it looks like, and let me go through it. So, this is just to share some pieces. This is where the donors come in on the portal. This is the way they charge their card. This is the transaction management system. This is the MSP that is or the payment processor is sponsoring it. This is the payout procedure. This is the sharing information, and this is the beneficiary banks, presumably in another country. So let's start with this and what it means. So the first thing that we have to do is look at, there's a crowdfunding portal, and this portal, is basically a website and is going to be integrated into some sort of a licensed PSP or an MSP, etc., that has PSP, capabilities. And you can see, there's donors, different kinds of donors, and let's say you have debit card and ACH. Some donors will do ACH. Some donors will prefer debit card or even credit card, etc. And once those amounts have been processed, they will then come into the MSP bank, into their account of the MSP bank. What we have to understand over here is that at some point in time, depending on the amounts being transferred from here, we may have to do KYC on them. We may have to do, know your customer or know your donor. So there's a transaction, management system and engine that is typically running. It does onboarding, it does compliance, does reporting, does monitoring. Typically, the MSP or the PSP in question will actually provide you with something like this. And like I said, I mentioned over here that there is a licensed MSP in the United States with all the money transmitter licenses that's going to be working with you. So once a certain threshold has been achieved, or when a fund or a campaign has come to its end, there is money sitting with this MSP bank, and that needs to be settled. And there are a couple of ways we can settle it. So there are basically two ways. One way is you use the payout partner, wherever may be. So, for example, the payout partner may be in Philippines, or maybe in India, or Bangladesh, or Nigeria, or Kenya, wherever they may be. They may have a bank that they work with, and with the bank may have, the bank may say, what, please send it to us via Swift. So the MSP, they will use their bank, they will send the money to the correspondent bank, pretty much in New York. You can have BNY Mellon, Deutsche, Standard Chartered, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase. They're all correspondent banks. They will send the money to the respondent banks. The payout partner bank in the receiving country will receive it. They will transfer the money to the beneficiaries bank, which was defined in the original campaign of the crowdfunding, and eventually there will be an end credit into the beneficiaries bank account. So that's one way of sending it. The other way of sending it is that the partner bank says, hey, you know what? I actually have a Nostro account in the US. Please pay it into my partner bank account in the US. So the MSP will check, they'll have an agreement, they will make sure that the Nostro account in the US is in the same name of the beneficiaries bank or the payout partner bank. They will do a Fed wire or an ACH into that account. The partner bank has then received money or has taken ownership of funds and custody of funds. And then again, the same thing will apply. The beneficiary bank, and it will receive the money, and there'll be an end credit into the beneficiary's bank account. In such cases, the partner bank may say, hey, you know what, we are receiving a lot of transactions. Can you share something about this with us? So in this case, the MSP can share with the partner bank a list of all the donors, the KYC information of all the donors, or what they feel should be collected and be shared with the partner bank. So, shared with the payout partner if they require the information for all the donors and contributors. Because let's say each donor sent $100. So now you're receiving $500, but you don't know who the sender was. So in this case, you can say, well, there were 5 senders. They say, okay, if there were 5 senders, can you give us the name? I understand you're going to give us one whole lump sum amount to transfer, but can you give us the name of the senders and the donors? And they will give that information and share it for purposes of compliance. In certain cases, and this is again in certain cases, the beneficiary bank or the beneficiary says, you know what, I already have a bank account in the US. Can you just push the money over there? So in this case, the money that is with the MSP bank that is holding it on behalf of the crowdfunding portal will transfer it to the end beneficiary's US bank account. This title of this account must match the name of the end beneficiary's account. That's a requirement for compliance. So US dollars are basically transferred into the end beneficiary's US dollar account. From there, they can do many things. They can either bring it back home into the beneficiary's bank account in that country of choice. They can convert it to a local currency. So US dollars are exchanged into local currency and then deposited into beneficiary's account. Or they could simply bring the US dollars back into their beneficiary's account and keep it as US dollars, as a foreign currency exchange account. And then whenever the time is required, they can exchange it into local currency and have a credit. So this is typically how most international crowdfunding websites work. There is an element of crypto that is now involved as well, and I think I will do another video. It takes time to make all these diagrams, etc. And this is basically the gist of it. A copy of this diagram will be stored on our website, a high resolution PDF and a JPEG. So if you wish to use it, feel free to do so. All I ask is that you give the due credit that you took it from my website, etc. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask in the comments section below. Till next time, this is Faisal Khan signing off.